Hello, everyone. It's Chris with Trucking for My Future. Happy Friday, 9/9 of 22. Oh, the last couple of days, stock market has been kind of creeping upwards, which was kind of a nice trend we've seen for the last couple of weeks. The market's just been terrible. It's been way down. But I got up today and looked at it. I'm only down like $50 on my current investments, $50 to $65. I was like, wow, I haven't seen that since March. So it's the best it's been in about 5, 6 months. But I can't get too excited. There's too many things going on right now. There's too many negatives out there to keep indicating it's going to be a downward trend for a little while. So this might be a little spike in the road, but I'm not really expecting it to hang around. I want it to. I want it to keep going because I think I've made some good investments, and I think my portfolio in general is going to do well once the stock market returns to what would be considered normal over the last 2, 3 years. So I'm definitely looking forward to it returning to a little more of a normal status. But we still have, excuse me, I'm trying to align my camera here. We still have a lot of people talking recession. We still have all the problems with the supply chain and the employee shortage, and you know everything's still down. The Fed's still spiking up the interest rates, and none of that's changed. So I'm not actually sure why the market is going up the last couple of days. Um, I don't get it. The only thing I can assume is that the corporations are shuffling around some money, trying to position themselves, uh, basically to brace themselves for more downturn. So that might cause the market to improve a little bit. What on my uh, portfolio right now, my number one performer, believe it or not, J.P. Morgan Chase. Um, a couple of days ago, I was buying it at the upper 113s, lower 114s, and I got my price point down under 115. I got it down to 114. I mean, it's 114.79, and this morning it's broke 119, going back up. So I mean, like $350 up on J.P. Morgan Chase already, and it's only been 3 days since I made my last purchase. So that's good. I'm happy about that. I'm confident that one's gonna return to at least the 140s, and that's gonna make a nice little profit because I have 75 shares now. So that'll be good. Watching Tesla as well. Tesla's moving up. Um, that's one. Honestly, you guys, that's one I don't know if I'm going to try to hold long term or if I'm going to short that one. I don't see it being, because it's not really a dividend stock. It's not really fitting into my investing strategy. Basically, just looking to try to make some money off of it. So I think I'm going to keep it for a while and see how high it can go. Because now that it's split, and I bought a few more shares to try to help my price target down, I'm sitting on like 16 shares and some change. You know, um, I'd really like to see that one go take a good run up, and then if it goes up pretty high, I may end up shorting that one and go ahead and selling it off at a profit, taking that money and reinvesting it in SCHD, and maybe spread it around to some of my other investments. Um, and I'm also looking at my Pembina pipeline which is a Canadian, PBA is the stock ticker. Kind of looking at them, the oil industry had a nice big run up with that increase in fuel prices have inched down a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And oil's kind of at that doesn't know which way it wants to go. Doesn't know if it wants to go up or down. But right now, Pembina's been down for quite a bit. But they've been a good performer for me since I purchased them. So I'm kind of scrutinizing them to see what's going to happen with the oil industry and that particular stock. They are a monthly payer of dividends, though. So they do get a little preferential treatment. And they're not bad. I think they're like 5.5% dividend yield. Excuse me. So they're not that bad. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know that, yeah, the stock market's kind of coming back up, but I wouldn't expect it to hang around. I think it's going to drop again soon. There's just a lot of negativity going on. And speaking of negativity, if you're watching any other kind of videos out there, you're probably going to run into these doom and gloom naysayers that are just screaming to the top of their lungs that the entire stock market's going to crash and everybody's going to lose all their money and it's the ultimate crash that's never happened before, but it's going to be worse than the Great Depression. And I mean, all I can say is no, it's not going to happen. There's been a lot of changes made in the economic system and the way they do things in this country since the Great Depression. That really taught this country a big lesson about what can happen if they don't have a stable economic system. And, I don't foresee a time where they ever allow things to crash so badly that people are jumping off buildings again like they were back in their 20s. I don't see it happening. It hasn't happened since the 20s. I mean, we're talking almost 100 years. They haven't allowed it to crash like that since. I don't think they're ever going to allow it to crash like that again. I mean, yeah, we're going to have crashes. We've had 3. And, this is the 4th one that I know of since I've been around, You had 2008, you had the dot-com crash, this one, and I don't know, I think there was at least one other big important one. And at the same time, we've had some really good, we had a long stretch here of just jamming on the stock market. It was nothing but money hand over fist for a decade. It had a good, what they call a bull run. So, I mean, it was kind of almost due for a slowdown. But then after the slowdowns, it warms back up and starts going back the other way. It's a cycle. The problem with the cycle is that you can't time it. You can't know when it's going to go crazy up or crazy down. So it's just a ride. But historically, over time, over the long term, there's generally about a 10% increase, from year to year. Some years, and it averages, okay, because some years you might be down 5%. Next year you might be up 25%. Next year you might be down 15%. It just all averages. So investing kind of needs to be in the long-term picture frame here. From year to year you can't really guess what it's going to do. It's a long-term investment and it pans out. It just takes time. You have to be patient. So, anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I just wanted to let you guys know that, the stocks are looking good. I'm going to be on hold for doing any buying right now. If you're watching Expat Theory, you found out that I basically lost my job position. Um, my customer canceled its contract with CRST. So all the accounts, there's like 3 different accounts that are affected. They're all shutting down on the 18th. And then CRC is going to have to figure out how to get all their trucks and all their trailers off the customer's property. And, this Target, and Target's shifted they've done it not only to us, but U.S. Express as well. So they're changing around who they're doing business with. And a lot of it has to do with the economic situation. Um, they're trying to consolidate. They're trying to cut back a little bit and cut corners a little bit. And their warehousing and distribution and transportation is one of their big areas that they needed to cut. I saw that in the news. I spoke about it. I saw that in the news months and months ago. So it kind of surprised me that they cut us, but in another way, I kind of knew that they were going to be making changes. I just didn't think it was going to affect CRST like it did. So with my job position kind of going away and my paychecks are a little uncertain right at this moment, I think I'm going to hold off on doing much buying of anything at the moment. But I'm going to get back into it. Let me keep it going because I don't want to slack off on that. My investing is very important to me, and it's very important to my future. So it'll be a pause at most. All right, guys, I'm going to get out. You guys have a happy weekend. We'll see you next video.